3 years ago, I couldn't climb a flight of stairs without getting winded. 100 kilos, 35% body fat, and completely out of shape. Today, I'm 77 kilos, 10% body fat, and in the best shape of my life. I've helped dozens of busy working men follow the same path with these 5 rules that changed everything. Not one of them requires quitting your job or living in the gym. So, if you are someone who is stuck, feeling overweight, sad, anxious, depressed, can't get out of the rut that you are in, sick of looking down and seeing this big barrel that's just hanging over you, I can understand that because that was once me. And I want to get you out of that with these 5 rules. And keep in mind, every single one of them will help you get closer and closer to that 10% body fat mark. I promise you that this is the video that will help you get to 10% body fat. If I had watched this 5 years ago, I never would have had to have gone through so much struggle. I never would have had to fail so many times. I never would have had to wake up and feel like shit and go to a job that I didn't like and just do all of these awful habits. I fixated on junk food, porn, video games for years. I became a monster, a nasty human being who did awful habits. So please listen to this and you can get out of that rut that you are in. And the first thing that I need you to do is to start to give yourself positive and negative reinforcements. So what does this mean? Basically, for so long, I was someone who would reward himself by going to the gym. I would come back and I would say, oh, I've done such a good job in the gym. I'm going to get myself a pack of crisps, a Doritos, a can of Coke, some junky shit that not only just destroyed my insides and made me fatter and fatter, but took me further and further away from my goal of hitting 10% body fat. So if you are someone who rewards himself by using the likes of Doritos, junk food, anything that is taking away from getting you closer to your goal. If you're trying to lose weight, you do not reward yourself with fucking eating crappy junk food. How stupid and counterproductive is that? You know this, but yet you do it, just like I used to. But what I need you to start to do is to rewire your brain, to give yourself positive reinforcement through the likes of buying some nice clothes. At the end of a long week, when you've put in that graft, you've gone to the gym 5, 4, 3, 2 times a week, doesn't matter. But you stuck to your diet. You stuck to your word. You said you were going to do something and you followed through with it. So when payday comes in at the end of the month, the end of the week, go into that shop and get yourself a nice pair of shoes, a nice jumper, t-shirt. It's the summer weather now here in Ireland, so you could get yourself something like that. And what does that do? It complements the progress that you've made. And so if you are someone now who at the end of the week, you've missed a few gym sessions, you said you were going to go at this time, you said you were going to eat this food and you never did. Now you give yourself something like an hour of additional cardio. You see what that's doing? You see what will happen over time? You will reinforce the good behaviors and reinforce the bad behaviors. And so this will keep you on track. The second thing that I need you to do is, and this is really important, only take advice from someone whose life you would trade for. So if you are taking advice from the likes of your fat obese manager or your parents who are in awful shape, and your parents are like, oh no, you should try this food here, and they're a fat bastard and they're telling you what to eat, why would you listen to them? They do not have the outcome that you want. So I'm someone who's at 10% body fat right this very second, right? So if I was to suggest an activity to you and you want to get to 10% body fat, there's a high likelihood that that activity would help you get to 10% body fat. Would you agree? I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you here is to stop listening to people who you don't want to be like. Everyone gives you advice. Everyone's great at giving opinions. Everyone's great at telling you do this, try this, try this. It's like, do I want to live the life that he lives? Do I want to do the actions that he's doing that's getting him the results that he's getting? He's 55% body fat and he's telling me to try this new donut out in the shop. It's like, no, I don't think I will, because I don't want to be a fat 55% body fatter. although that's ridiculous numbers, but you know what I'm trying to say here. It's like, think about who, and also alongside this, pick one or two people that you trust. It doesn't have to be me. And by the way, if you want to talk about money, if you want to talk about relationships, I have no fucking clue what I'm talking about. But if you want to talk about getting to 10% body fat with a 9 to 5 job, working full time, I have done it. I've helped so many other guys do the exact same thing. Dropped below 10% body fat in 12 weeks with my course. Check that out. It's the top link in the comments and in the description. It is the reason that I make these videos. It is the best course that I've ever put out, and it will help your life. It will change it, because something that nobody is talking about at the moment is the fact that your mental health is in the toilet. And because your mental health is in the toilet, you're never going to lose weight, because you can't be motivated, you can't be disciplined, and you can't do the hard thing. So I'm not going to keep blabbing on about how shitty your mental health is. Check that video out. It's top link in the comments and the description. It's free for you to watch. I plead with you to watch it. It is very good, and it may give you an insight that you never would have thought about. Now, the third thing that I want you to do is simply set non-negotiables. So what does this mean? It simply means there have got to be some habits in your routine, in your life, that you cannot miss. For me, I will give you 3 of mine. Every single day, I do one thing for my mental health. So that could be reading, that could be gratitude journaling, that could be going for a walk, does not matter. It could be phoning a friend, but every single day I do one thing that helps my mental health. The next thing that I want you to do is to pick one thing to do with your physical health. That's go to the gym, that's go for a walk, that's any form of physical exercise whatsoever. And the final thing that I set for myself, I'm not saying you have to do all of these, is to help someone else for the day. So that means ask my mom, is there anything I can do for you? Is there a friend of mine or a family member that needs something that I can do for them? And not only does this help them, but it also helps you, because you feel good about yourself and you feel like you're doing a service for someone else. And that's really important. So those are 3 non-negotiables that I set, but pick 3 non-negotiables and every single day stick to them, like religion. And this will help you get to 10% body fat faster than you ever realized even possible. I promise you. So the next thing that I need you to do is to detox your brain. So what does this mean? We're in a time in our life that is unprecedented. There's so much stimulation. There's social media. There's video games, junk food, Pornhub. No generation before us has had all of these things. No generation before us have had the access and the instant gratification that we have. And it's destroying our brains. It's why you're overweight. It's because you think everything is easy and it's instant. And when you detox your brain, you realize that the things that you really want, like getting to 10% body fat, are not instant unless you use my course, which takes 12 weeks to get to 10% body fat, by the way. But I'm just so proud of it. But anyway, detox your fucking brain, right? Your brain is rotting away. You're watching Instagram reels, short form content going bam, bam, bam. You spend 8 hours a day in the office staring at a screen. For the love of fucking God, do you need any more time staring at a screen? No, you don't. None of us do. So get the fuck off your screen. Get out in the world. See people. Walk in nature. Anything. Delete YouTube. Delete social media. It's absolute poison for you. It's so bad. Do you find another social media influencer like myself online who's telling you to delete the app that helps me get an income? I'm telling you to delete it because I want you to win. I want you to get to 10% body fat. And the only way that you can do it is detoxing your brain. If you do not detox your brain and you get all your stimulation from these apps, when you go to the gym, it's going to be 10 times harder. When I go to the gym, I love it. I feel great because I don't use stimulation like Pornhub, like TikTok, like Instagram, like YouTube, like any of these apps. Never been on them. Don't use them. I literally swear to God, I upload my YouTube videos and that's it. I come off everything. Because when I go to the gym then, I want to be there. I have a desire. I have a want in me and I feel great. It's like watching TikTok reels for you, except for me, that's going to the gym and I get the same feeling. So please start to detox your brain. Some simple action step that you can do right now, today, is to simply delete a social media platform. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any of them. One of them, get rid of it. Now, the next thing and the final thing, by far, super important, and basically the reason that I got to 10% body fat, one of the first things that I do when you get on my course is to find out your why. If you have a why, you will always have a how. And the why could be, so for your kids, for your wife, for your friends, for your family, for your own well-being, for your life. You don't want to end everything. You don't want to live the way that you're living. Find a why. If you have a why, you will have a how. So you need to sit down with a journal, with a pen and paper, and ask yourself, why do I want to get to 10% body fat? Yes, I'm busy. Yes, I've got responsibilities. Yes, I've got all these other things going on in my life. Why do I want to get to 10% body fat? For me, I'll tell you my why. It was because I had a loving parent who supported me throughout my whole life. And I said, I don't want to live like that because it's tarnishing their reputation and tarnishing their the person that they are. And I want to prove to everyone and prove to them and prove to myself, most importantly, that I can live up to my potential and live up to the potential that my parent deserved for me to live up to. So that's what it was for me. Find what yours is. And if you enjoyed this content, watch this video right here.